UFC on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
That seems like a good, safe place to be, huh? Everyone's going to know where all the world leaders are going to be. We're all going to be stuck sitting in that spot for 6 hours calling fights.
You're going to be there, right?
Super safe. I feel completely safe.
You're going to be there, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be there.
Do you like the concept of it or no?
I do not like it.
Okay, welcome to the show with Joe. I am Joe, and this is also Joe. This is Joe Rogan, and there's an upcoming event this weekend for the UFC that will be on the White House lawn, and obviously, I think it's for, Trump and his birthday. I think Dana White and him are pretty close friends at this point. Obviously, Dana White was there when Trump got inaugurated. And there's been a lot of pushback on it, including some from the UFC itself. Let's just hear what Joe Rogan has to say in this clip with Harlan Williams. If you listen to Joe Rogan regularly, he's been talking really bad about this event for, I would say, at least a month and a half now. And this is kind of the context of it. This is him talking to Harlan Williams, and this is on the Joepedia YouTube page. He has been covering this, it looks like, so good on him for having this ready for me. But for real, thanks, Joepedia. Here we go.
Lawn. UFC on the White House lawn.
Yeah.
That seems like a good, safe place to be, huh? Everyone's going to know where all the world leaders are going to be. We're all going to be stuck sitting in that spot for 6 hours calling fights.
You're going to be there, right?
Super safe. I feel completely safe.
You're going to be there, right?
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to be there.
Do you like the concept of it or no?
I do not like it.
How come, guy?
Because it's outside, and I think world championship fights should be in a controlled environment. Out of respect for the athletes and how difficult it is to compete professionally in a world title. However, I should say, it's going to be a spectacle. Whether I was there or not, I would be watching 100%. Yeah. It's I think it's awesome that Trump, this is one of the things that I like about him. He's like, fuck it, let's do it.
Yeah.
He puts on cage fights on the White House lawn. Yeah. That's nuts.
UFC Freedom 250, also known as UFC at the White House, is an historic mixed martial arts event scheduled for June 14th, 2026 on the South Lawn of the White House in Washington, D.C., marking the first professional sporting event ever held on the presidential grounds. The card, headlined by Ilia Topuria versus Justin Gaethje for the lightweight title and featuring Alex Pereira versus Cyril Gainey for the interim heavyweight belt, coincides with...
Okay, so I don't know if that's like an AI video or something, but I mean, those are pretty big fights for the UFC. Those are two belt fights. It might be Justin Gaethje's last fight if he doesn't win, versus Ilia Topuria for the championship, and then you got Potan, who's fighting, that's Alex Pereira, something like that. Fighting below also for a championship, and I think it's his first one in I want to say it's heavyweight opposed to light heavyweight, and it'll be a big win for him. Along the other security issues Joe's also worried about, he's saying, which to be fair, he is always pretty consistent on his UFC stuff, and one being that if it rains, that's like a whole thing you got to deal with on top of security. Where are they going to do walkouts from? That's what I'm curious about. Are they going to come right through the front door? That'll be cool. So it'll be an interesting event, but of course, Joe Rogan has been with the UFC since UFC 16 or something. It's at I want to say it's in the high hundreds now for the amount of pay-per-view UFC fights. So Joe Rogan, I don't know what this is. I typed in UFC something and this came up. What's it? Oh, here we go. Ad on a page. Weird. Joe Rogan says it's crazy to do UFC White House in the middle of a effing war. That was at one point during those random podcast conversations. Let's just.
You excited for the White House card? That looks really good.
Yes. I'm excited. It sounds crazy. I know it's going to be very high security and high stress and weird to have a fight at the White House in the middle of a fucking war. I would hope the war will be sorted out by June, but quite honestly, I'm not confident that that's going to be the case.
All right, so Joe's just worried about it. Now, because Joe's been with the UFC for a while, Dana obviously had to say something about it. So here's what Dana said about Joe's feelings on this.
Is a grown-ass man who has his own opinions. I don't call him and say, what are you doing? Different people that work for me, not as high profile as Joe Rogan, who probably have some concerns about a lot of things in doing this event. But we're going to do it. Whatever Joe Rogan's opinions are, he had said something crazy like it seems like a gimmick.
Well, it's kind of a gimmick. They said it was going to be the greatest card of all time.
I mean, what does a gimmick mean? It's a real fight with real stakes. Pereira possibly winning his third world title. If he wins the third world title that night, he jumps over John Jones and becomes the greatest of all time.
I disagree with that, and my brother actually convinced me on that one. John Jones is technically undefeated. Pereira lost to Israel Adesanya by knockout in the most epic way possible, so I think you can't touch John Jones right now. And by the way, that video, they said Cyril Gain. It's Cyril Gane. So I don't know if that was like an AI video on Joepedia, but yeah. What else does he have to say?
And that's an opinion. You've mentioned the John Jones thing everywhere.
Who's this guy?
That was
Yeah,
a huge thing.
When you talk about a gimmick, there's absolutely nothing gimmicky about this event. We're celebrating 250 years of America, all the representatives of the military there. Every fight on that card means something, the most historical sporting event in American history.
So
far from a gimmick.
But you're not worried about his opinion changing.
No, Joe is a grown man, can have his opinions on anything.
Reasonable response, kind of defending it for sure, especially with someone within your own business. So I don't know. It's just like something. It's definitely something to watch this week. Hopefully it goes on with no hitch, but they'll be going back to Joe if something does go wrong. So yeah, just thought I'd throw that out there. I thought it was interesting. This has been The Show with Joe. Thank you for watching.